Welcome to What We Watch When We Drink, a Booze Dancing Entertainment Network podcast featuring lively discussions about movies, TV shows, and anything else that we're watching while we drink our favorite boozy beverages. If you enjoy this show, please subscribe on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, Google, Audible, and anywhere else you get your podcasts. You can also find us on boozdancing.com, and if you have any questions, comments, show or drink suggestions, email us at boozdancing@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you.
Booze Dancing is super live on a Super Whiskey Tuesday. Hello, gentlemen. How are we?
Thirsty.
Good.
Very thirsty. Very thirsty.
Perfect. We have an all-new episode of What We Watch When We Drink. Let's see. This train wreck is being streamed on YouTube.
By the way, did you say train wreck?
Train wreck, same thing.
Train wreck.
Facebook, Instagram, any other Mag 7 stock that is now in the toilet. Maybe we'll call this episode the Kiss Your 401k Goodbye episode. And we're pumping this thing out worldwide, of course, as usual, using the Starlink system. Oh, wait, we're not using Starlink. It's a lot, Elon. MFR. We're back using rabbit ears, tinfoil, and a long string. Let us know how the sound is. We still have about $1.73 in assets after today's market close. So we're still going to bring you the very best and cheap entertainment. Reminder to everyone to watch my conspirators here, Mike and Angelo, on the Murder Table, at the Murder Table, and their semi-weekly reviews of whiskey, beer.
I'm at monthly these days, but who knows?
Monthly these days. Reviews of whiskey, beer, canned cocktails, juice pouches, and whatever else they want to imbibe. Keep the cards and letters coming to us. And if you have any comments tonight, drop them in the chat, and we'll get right to them. How are we, guys? We'll talk about what's going on tonight before we...
Do you mean besides thirsty? Besides thirsty?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Besides thirsty, how are we?
I'm okay. I'm doing all right.
It's been a few weeks since we did one of these little...
It's been over a month. It's been a while.
Been over a month, they say. Been over a month.
Been a while.
It's been a month. It has been a month.
Living a dream, man. I'm living a dream.
Yeah, same here.
We are living a dream live for you.
Every day is better than the next. It's a good thing.
Right.
It's a waking nightmare, but living a dream.
So we got some whiskey tonight, don't we?
We do. We have a little grab bag episode here. We literally
it's more like a bag that landed on our, that was, I don't know. We're grabbing the bag.
Sure. We have a grab bag of what we've been watching and what we've watched. And we have a little smattering, more than a little smattering, of single malts, 4 with single malts from the Lochlea Distillery in Scotland, home of Scotch Whiskey. Scotch Whiskey.
Courtesy
of Sam Filmus and his team at Impex Beverages in the Northern California area. Sam, thank you again. We will be enjoying these, I'm sure, as we speak about stuff during the evening. And again, we want to welcome everyone across the World Wide Web to our little dog and pony show / Trainwreck. All right, boys, should we thought we haven't done this for a while, so we thought we would talk a little bit about this, a little bit about that, what we've been watching, what we've watched.
Yes.
As we pound around through some whiskey. Should we start with let's jump right into a whiskey?
Start with a whiskey.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious. I don't know where to go because they have the sowing edition, the harvest edition, and they have the fallow edition of these third crop single malts.
And so we made this executive decision before we came on to, aside from the last one, which is it's the highest ABV, we are going to go by color from lightest to dark, right? And the lightest one in our little series here tonight from Lochlea is the Lochlea edition. Right?
By the way, I got a question for you. So I didn't know what fallow means. So fallow describes land that is left unseeded after being plowed.
Yes.
So I guess we should do sowing, harvest, and then fallow. We should do it in that order, right?
The color is actually the order of farming. Yes.
Yeah, it almost works. It's almost by design. So let's go with what they plant. Then we'll go with what they reap, and then we'll go with what's left over.
Correct.
All right, that'll work. Okay, so let's do
And
it.
you let the field fallow so that the soil regenerates and you don't overuse it.
Ah, okay.
Right. In the
All right.
fallows. So we're hopping into the sewing edition, correct?
Sewing edition. Let's give it a pour. It's so light. It's so light in color.
Very light. Very
You know, it almost looks like a like a Kalila or something.
Yeah.
You know, that light
Like a
light
nice
straw color.
a peated Isla. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it. Will it
Yeah.
smell like it or
It
taste like it? I don't know.
pasty pale like me and you.
Not at all.
Well, now I'm going to start getting my son doing my walks. So, shall I read a little bit about the Lochlea?
Please do.
Is it Lochlea or Lochlea?
I believe it's Lochlea.
Lochlea? Okay. So let's see. The Lochlea Sewing Edition, 46% ABV. Over the past few years, our seasonal small batch releases have showcased the signature Lochlea style in 4 different ways. As a working farm, these expressions tie in with exactly what is happening here at that time of year. Sewing Edition is the first in a new and final set of 4 limited editions, marking the end of our seasonal trilogy. Matured in 100% fresh first fill ex-bourbon barrels, these casks are 9 months older than those used in Sewing Edition's second crop, and the difference is incredible. This whiskey really highlights the floral aromatics associated with distilling in the colder months. So there you go. I have poured. Shall we do a chin chin?
We should.
Ching.
Gentlemen?
1,
Cheers.
2, 3.
Right?
That's
That was
pretty
weak.
close.
That was weak, but that's okay.
Thought
All
for
right.
sure I poured something.
Very, very light in color.
Very, very light. I mean, it is like clear. I mean, it's like super light.
Yeah, it is. It's like a pale
It's like
golden
a
color.
Chardonnay.
It's a straw. It's very light and fruity.
We get
I'm getting
fruity?
like pears. I'm getting like a lightly spiced pear.
Honeysuckles.
Honeysuckles?
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of vanilla.
It's very, very easy nose.
yeah.
It smells nice. Very, very pleasant. It's inviting.
It's inviting.
And
It's
I was
not-
invited in.
You were. So you're going in. All right, let's go in.
It's not uninviting.
Got some heat.
A little bit.
That's
Ooh,
nice.
it's got it's got a finish.
A little
This thing
orangey.
this is what was that?
A little orangey.
Maybe. But that's got a nice peppery like finish.
A little woody too.
Did you say peppery? It's peppery.
Yeah, it's a little peppery right on the back end, but a little bit of like
Wow.
a little chili, you know, like a nice like maybe charred chili.
Yeah, the first bite didn't. First
Mm.
taste of it didn't have that. The second one, wow,
Yeah.
That's got a you know, for 46%, it's got a punch
it's
in a nice way.
reminds me of a like a salad dressing that kind of sneaks up on you. That's got some punch to it.
A little sharp.
A little sharp.
I think you're putting the wrong stuff on your salads.
Hey now.
That's nice.
I like that. That is very
It's
nice.
growing on me.
You know what it is? To me, it's like an aperitif. Like
Yeah.
like the first, you know, you sit down at the table, you get ready for dinner, you don't know what to start with. You start with this. This will get the palate going.
I think I was surprised by the flavor not necessarily matching the color.
Yeah.
Or the nose, because the nose
Yeah.
feels like a little light and fruity.
And
But
the nose too. Yeah. The
you get
nose
a
did
nice, you get a nice
a little,
punch.
a little surprising, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It was nice.
I like that. That's good.
My gums
Nice.
are coming on fire.
Nice.
And then it gets a little fruity. And now we
Yeah.
start to get like a little peach, maybe a little bit of like, you know, maybe
It's definitely lingering.
yeah.
Very
Yeah, really.
This is like,
I like
when
that.
it's long finish.
Is this our dear friend John Campbell? Is he still in charge at Lochlea or no?
Not in charge. We could talk about John for a second. John Campbell, formerly the master
Distillery manager?
distillery manager at Lafroig for 20 something years. I think he's a native Inuk, I believe. And then he left, retired-ish. retired-ish, because then he came back into the fold with
Right.
Lochlea a couple years later. It was a startup, and he just recently left there, oddly enough, for a distillery in Central California.
Really?
Wow.
Yes. So he
Really?
yes.
No idea.
Yeah, it's called. I'll think of it. I can't remember the name of it. They make peated bourbon, amongst other things.
Wow.
And
Okay.
John is now. I think he's kind of living here, kind of going back and forth to Scotland a bunch
Fascinating.
as a family. So,
Yeah.
but this was his. This I believe all of these that we're tasting were impact of him. These are his.
Wow.
He's his malts. So
Okay. His legacy, if you will.
legacy, yes.
His
Yes,
legacy.
yes.
Okay. All right.
There you go. Well,
Oh, I like that. That's
that
very,
is
very good.
Yeah.
first whiskey from Lochlea, the sowing edition, right? Third crop. So I guess this is the third time they've done this, right? Maybe. Okay. We have not been together for a month or so, and we thought instead of picking a specific title, we were just going to just chat about what we've been watching, what we're in the middle of, what we watched already. So we'll probably just go around the room a couple times, and everyone gets a little shot at telling us what they've been watching. And
Okay.
Mike, why don't you start us off on something?
I don't watch
you
television
watched-
anymore.
No TV?
I don't watch TV anymore. I'm not a big fan. I just watched The
Cut
Wheel.
the cable?
I just watched The Wheel, nothing else. Just The Wheel.
Well, that's
The Wheel
something.
of Time. The Wheel of
The
Fortune.
Price is Right Wheel.
Okay.
Drew Carey is your man.
Drew Carey, he's the best. Bob Barker, who cares?
Didn't I just see? I swear I saw this. Somebody should Google this. I believe they just had their 10,000th episode of Price is Right.
Yeah,
Really?
wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me.
I
Figure
believe
they do 200 a year for 50 years. Yeah. No surprise.
Right. Tens an episode.
this
Actually,
first
yeah, it just aired. Go
Yeah.
figure.
Wow,
Crazy.
Impressive.
10,000. All right,
so
Mike.
We can't
seriously.
we can't get through 6 episodes of some of these shows.
No. We are like,
So,
what are we at?
that-
Episode number 50 something of us?
What? This is episode number 60.
60.
60.
60.
We're almost there.
60. Whiskey
that.
with a 6.
Episode with a
We
6.
Oh, and you
We
know
do,
what?
we-
One of these is supposedly 60%, so that's
There
perfect.
you go.
Last one. Yeah.
All right, go.
We finished watching Outlander, so we're ready for the next year. We watched The Agency,
Ah, yeah.
which was a lot of fun.
Yeah, agency
And
was
it's kind of interesting to watch a lot of guys. I'm going to say not that they're old, but they're certainly on the sort of the twilight of their careers, and kind of remember these guys when they were much younger than they are right now. Richard Gere in particular. It's something to see him now where he still has the shock of white hair, but he looks like he should have a shock of white hair. Where as a younger guy, he just had white hair.
I think it's interesting how some of these guys, they get in his case, he's a movie star,
Yeah.
and then comes back to TV late in life, out of the blue, and then doesn't have a huge role. He's not the star. He's kind of taken a secondary role in this. I don't know the story why, but he didn't go for the, hey, I'm only gonna do this thing if I'm the lead guy, or have a major part. He didn't.
Yeah, I think he's looking at it the other way.
Yeah,
you know?
probably. Yeah,
I'm happy where I am.
yeah.
And
I don't think
another one of the older gentlemen in it is Jeffrey Wright, who
Jeffrey Wright. Yes.
he's in his mid 60s, I guess, at this point, where you don't want to admit how old you are until you get a good look at these guys and go, oh damn, I don't think I'm 35 anymore.
Jeffrey Wright is probably he is so consistent.
He is.
He's so damn good all the
He
time.
is good. He's very good. This was on HBO Max, I believe, wasn't it?
Yeah, but no, it's on Showtime. So it's on
Showtime.
Paramount Plus.
Showtime. Yeah.
Oh,
So
Paramount
Showtime.
Plus. I saw it on Paramount Plus. That's right.
Yeah, so did I.
Yep. Yeah, that
And
was.
and even Michael Fassbender, he is now starting to look his age. And I don't know if they are making him look his age or if he actually looks like that. I don't know. they may be making they may have made him to look like he was a little more haggard in this than he is, but he's starting to look like he's a 50-year-old man, which
and
that gave me some comfort. Not so much when you see Jeffrey Wright and Richard Gere, but overall, I thought it was a really well done show. And it set up nicely for next year, next season, or next whenever they do it.
A CIA operative kind of show based in England with work going on in Ukraine, I believe, right? Ukraine, right?
It's somewhere along the borders.
Yeah. Well, you've also got the woman going to Iran.
Yeah,
you got all kinds of stuff. It was actually neat. I liked Hugh Bonneville in this because I've only really seen him like extensively in like the Paddington movies.
Yeah, and maybe you saw him in Downton Abbey a little bit.
I never.
And in this, he plays maybe not such a great guy, which is not really what a character he plays. He doesn't usually play a not so great guy.
I thought it was interesting. I got a little bored towards the end of it, but in general, it was pretty good. I mean, there were so many of those things going on at the same time, different shows in the same weird world of espionage. It was hard to kind of keep on track.
Right. Yeah. Well, between that and Black Doves, and then what's it called? Slow Horses. You got all this like stuff going on.
Yep.
It starts to like it'd be kind of interesting if they crossed over because they're all based in London.
And they're all
or what if they didn't cross over? You just saw the characters walking past each other on the street.
That's still crossing over.
Really
I mean, where there's no interaction, you're just like, wait a minute. That's the person in the background.
That would be fun. Yep. Very good.
Hey, they're all riding the bus together to work.
The agency was fun. That was good.
And now we started up Reacher.
The new Reacher's out.
Which that guy is a monster, and they found someone who makes him look small.
I know, tiny.
Yes,
staggering.
Reacher on Prime, correct? I think Prime.
Prime. How do we feel about it, though? I mean, I still don't think it's measured up to season 1.
Well, we're 3 episodes in, so we're not too far into it. And I temper my enthusiasm because they're all based on books.
Yeah.
And I think some books are better than others.
Yeah.
But if you read Tom Clancy or Robert Ludlum or, Shakespeare, I'm sure you like certain books better than other books.
Right.
And I think that's probably what happens here is that the books that you're getting, maybe this isn't the best of the books. I don't know.
Well, to be fair, I've read a few of the books. They're fun. Yeah. They're page turners, but they're like a beach read. Like you're not really like, and then as soon as you're done, you don't remember what happened. Because it doesn't really matter. It's not like, that kind of thing. It's just, what do you want to call it? It's popcorn. It's a popcorn book.
And I like the first episode was all action, and the second episode explained all the action. I thought that was an interesting.
Yeah, that was nice the way they did that. Yeah, I agree.
And now, we'll see what happens. But I could see how if it starts to plot along, it's going to be a long drag.
Yeah, it's getting to be a bit of a slog.
I thought that with the second one.
Second one was terrible.
I thought the second one just was suspend your disbelief for some of the things.
I think with the first season, I think it was just that it was something just, they call them dad shows, but it was, it was unapologetic. It didn't pretend to be anything that, anything highbrow. It's just a fun show.
Even the first one, though, I think it was probably one episode too long.
Probably.
They kind of dragged out some of the stuff that they didn't need to do.
Right.
But it's okay. I enjoy it. I think it's a good show.
Yeah, I like the guy. I like what's his name.
I think it's a show. How about you, Edge? What are you watching?
Well, hold on a second. But I just never knew that Anthony Michael Hall would be like a star of a show.
I know.
Kind
of wild, right?
And he was a small nerdy kid, and then he became a big nerdy kid.
Pretty much.
And now he's filled out to the point that he's kind of a supervillain. He could be a Bond villain in his next thing.
You could definitely be that. Most definitely. I have to say I like Sonia Cassidy a lot. She's great. She's the FBI or whatever agent.
She's the one doing that terrible New England accent.
Well, I'm getting used to it though. Now I'm getting used to it.
Yeah.
I think I've adjusted to it. She's okay. She's all right.
I think episode 3, she's coming up with a password for something, and she said, "No more forever."
Yeah. Well, I was on that one Facebook group for the watch, and they were someone was like, every time she says bizarre.
Drink.
Bizarre, something like that.
Drink.
Oh, Jesus
Every time she
Christ.
says drink.
Exactly.
I saw that they are. There's a Reacher spinoff.
With the Neely character coming out. Yeah.
Oh, I like Neely. That'd be good.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
She's good.
Yeah.
Which got Ange?
I did find it interesting though when this Sonia's FBI character started to beat a man with a book. I thought that was very interesting. We're not going to use hands or the butt end of my gun. I just have a thick book, and I'm just going to beat you with it.
Well, wasn't that the old thing in the old movies, right? You beat him with the telephone book?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's like getting hit with a big brick.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
What about you, Edge?
What about you, Edge? Got some.
All right. Well, I got the same two. I got the same two. I watched Reacher. I'm watching Reacher, and I watched The Agency. We could throw something else in there. Here we go. Here's a show that I don't like. The whole streaming thing is just, how do they promote these shows? I think there's a plethora of shows out there that nobody knows about. They just kind of stumble upon them.
Yep.
But one case in point, Bookie, with Sebastian Maniscalco.
Yep.
It was hysterical. It is the second show in a while, the second comedy in a while that has actually made me literally laugh out loud. Not just amused. It was just so goddamn funny. I just thought it was great. The second season was actually more fun than the first. It actually got better. What'd you think, Aaron? I know you watched it.
Yeah, I loved it. You told me about it, and I think with the hit for me was that it was short. Right?
Yeah.
Like 20 minutes.
Yeah, they're just regular like sitcom episodes. I mean, they got Chuck Lorre in charge, who's done a few shows. He's done a few shows in his day. Maybe, what do we got? Big Bang Theory? What else?
Never heard of him.
Never heard of him. Never heard of Chuck Lorre.
2.5 Men? Never heard of him.
Yeah. Well, and funny, it's Chuck Lorre because you also have Charlie, what's his name in the show? Sheen. Charlie Sheen's in the show.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. He doesn't. I didn't realize it was 2.5 Men. He has like
which is a Chuck Lorre show, right?
Right.
So, and Charlie Sheen plays himself. Kind of a once in a while character.
Right.
It's really funny. All the little characters are really good. His wife, his mother-in-law, his sister, the guy from Lost.
All his baby mamas. All
the baby mamas of his partner. Yes. His mom. Yep. Yeah. The partner's mom is funny, or grandmother.
Oh my God, she's hysterical.
She's hysterical. What's the other? I can never remember his name. He's the
Rob Corddry?
Other gambling guy who's got all this. He's kind of like a mentor to these guys. I can't remember his name.
Was it the guy in the islands?
No. He's on the boat in Newport Beach.
Okay. But isn't that Rob Corddry?
Oh yeah, it's Corddry. Yeah, it's Corddry. Yeah. He's funny.
Right.
And God, there's just so many. And it's like this little weird world of bookies, right? It could be any industry, and they go to a funeral, and all the bookies are at the funeral. It could be insurance people. It could be accountants. They're all bookies, and they all know each other, and they all go back a long time. It was great. I was pleasantly surprised by this. It was
it's a lot of fun. It's funny because it's low key, because it's not like this big crazy show, but it's just funny. It's just so funny. Maniscalco's great. He's got things we could relate to. He's got his prostate issues.
Yes, he's a regular guy.
Yes. Who just happens to be a bookie.
He thinks he makes it big, and then he doesn't make it big. It's like one step forward, 12 steps back. It's just
and there's the guy that was in Bad Monkey, the pilot. He's in it. He's a little shady banker.
Banker. Yes.
Yeah, it's good. It's fun. It's a fun show. I recommend it. I think it was a good time.
It was very fun. You got another one?
I've got one that I started, but I just kind of I think I'm just going to put it on ice for a while, and when it's all done and when it all drops, I'll go back and binge it. Severance. That everybody was waiting for, and I watched the first couple episodes. I thought I started off okay, and then I just got lost. I wasn't really paying attention, so I think I need to go. I need to wait. I need to wait this one out and just go.
Yeah. I'm watching it here too, and it's had a different energy than all the other seasons.
Well, it's only been one season.
One season. It's a very different show this year, and I keep comparing it. I mentioned Lost. It feels like Lost a little bit, and you wonder if there's going to be a solution to this whole thing, or is it just going to kind of keep going and going? I hope it's. I don't think it will be. This is from who's this from? Who's the executive producer? It's
Ben Still is directing, but there's somebody else.
Yeah. So I hope he doesn't go down that road. I hope there is some finality to this, and there's a point to it all. I still like the individual roles. I think all of the cast are great. It's just the story's weird.
I'm gonna put it on ice, and I'm gonna go back to it when it's all done, because I'm just, I think you really got to be in the mood for it, and I thought I was going to be in the mood for it, but I wasn't.
I agree.
So I got to go back to it. So I'm not gonna trash the show, because I didn't like it the first time around, and then I went back and watched it, and I loved it. So I'm just gonna let it put it on the back burner for a little while. That's where I'm at with the
show. Okay.
And you?
A couple from me. Let's see. Similar to Bookie, there was a show that a friend of mine told me about. I think it's on Netflix. It's called Tires.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
And I think it's similar. It's like 6 episodes, 8 episodes, and they're like another 20 minutes or so. And it's about these, a tire shop. I want to say it's in New England.
No. It's supposed to be Valley Forge. I think it's in Pennsylvania.
Oh, it's Pennsylvania? Okay. Oh, I think you're right. Yeah, I'll check. And I don't know the name of these 2 comedians that are one I think who just was on Saturday Night Live recently hosted. And he was fairly offensive. I don't remember his name. We'll look it up here in a second. And one of these guys is the son of the owner of this chain, and this one place is just a complete screw up of a shop, and they can't. They need to raise revenue, and they're not. And the son is, trying to please his dad, and dad and dad wants to close the shop or sell the company, et cetera, et cetera. And the other guys that are in this shop, the guys working on cars, they don't give a crap or care that much. And every kind of promotion that they try doesn't work, and they all kind of blow up. And it's very, very funny. It's very offensive. It's not very PC. I found it pretty funny.
Is that the guy was going to be on Saturday Night Live? They announced his name, and then they did like a 5-year search on his Twitter page and found that he posted a bunch of offensive things. So he never actually got to be on the show.
This sounds familiar.
And then they brought him back, and it's like his name's like Shane Gillis or something.
Shane
like that.
Gillis. Well, he was
just on, and when he was on, he was alluding to the fact that people aren't going to like this monologue. People aren't going to like this.
Yes.
I think that was what happened. He was never actually on the show, but he was going to be on the show.
I think you're right. He's not the son. He's the one of the guys that works there. The guy that's the son, who seems to be like the main character, is Steve Gerben, another stand-up.
Right.
And you wouldn't know. I don't know anyone else in this cast. In the whole, never. I think they're all stand-up comedians. It's actually pretty funny, and it's short. Like I said, I think there's a season 2 coming, I believe. Yeah, kind of wacky. I think it's, like I said, I think it's on Netflix. Let's see, another one that I watched. It's going back a little bit. I don't think we talked about this. Was American Primeval on Netflix?
Oh, how was that? That was the Western, right?
Yeah, and Betty Gilpin is the star.
Right, isn't it Peter Berg? I think was the director and writer or something like that. I think
it is Peter Berg. It's a short series. It's like 6 episodes about a woman. I believe she's from Philadelphia. Is that something kind of odd?
No idea.
Does that say enough about? And she is traveling across, in the 1860s or 70s or something, probably 70s. She is traveling across America to take her son allegedly to some town to get to her husband or ex-husband. And the son is like a young, before preteen kid. What you don't know that she's had some issues in the past. She's with domestic violence, and so she's trying to get across the country, and she's in Utah, and she's going across Utah when the Mormons are going across the country to set up shop in Salt Lake City or thereabouts. So there's some based on some historical facts. Brigham Young is in this thing, that character.
The Brigham Young?
the Brigham Young. They got him out of they resurrected him, and they brought
Nice.
him in, and he's there. The Mormons have a militia, and they are trying to control Utah entirely. And they're the U.S. Army, the cavalry is there, and they don't want that to happen. And you got Native Americans, tribes that are like trying to control things too. So you have all these factions, and this woman is trying to get across Utah to get her son to this little town somewhere. And Taylor Kitsch is a kind of a nomadic guy who was raised by a Native American tribe, and he tries to take her across country, across Utah. And so he's like the heroic figure. And Shea Wiggum, we know Shea Wiggum from various shows, right? He's Jim Bridger, and he's the head of a fort, and he's great. It's very, very violent.
Yes, it is.
Very, very dark. It's very, very good. I really enjoyed it a lot. I like old Western stuff. And I believe the woman who is in the agency, who is becoming a agent to go to Iran.
Yes, that's right. She's in there. Right.
She is I think her name is.
Is she married to the young guy, the guy who was in Stranger Things?
Oh, I don't know. Is that true? I didn't know.
No. I mean, in the show, there was the young guy from one of the Stranger Things, the brother.
Oh yeah, maybe right. Oh, I think is that her? I don't know. Is that her?
Well, whatever. I mean, anyway,
she's in this show too, and she plays a Mormon wife who is kidnapped, I guess, or taken captive by this one Native American tribe, and she's really good at it too. And I had just seen the agency, and she looks familiar. Why do I know her? I think her name is Sarah Lightfoot Leon. Does that sound right?
What is she? Because in the agency, she seems to go between a whole bunch of languages almost without fail. Like,
I think she might be from Denmark, or she might be from
she's got quite a bit of linguistic skill there. So.
She is. It's funny you said that. She's Dutch-born English-Spanish actress.
Oh wow!
Yeah, this is Sarah Lightfoot Leon.
Yes. Yeah, she's very good at it too. So it's a pretty dark, but it's great to see a Western, and there's not a lot of humor. Who's the lead? Is that Betty Gilpin? Betty Gilpin. There is a lead. She's the lead. Yeah.
What is she from?
She was in Glow, and then she was in that other one.
Right. That's right. She was in Glow. That's right.
And what was that other one? The show where she had it was like a post-apocalyptic thing. I think it was on Apple.
That was called.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, it's the one where she's married to Jesus. Mrs. Davis.
Okay, she was in Nurse Betty too. Not Nurse Betty. What was the one on Nurse
Jackie?
Nurse Jackie. Right, she was in that too.
Yes, I really like her. I think.
Oh, she's great.
She's really impressive, and she's very good in this too. And she's having to do some pretty physical stuff, horses, and out in the middle of snow, and I don't know where they filmed all this. It's really beautiful, and it's really amazing. So that was my other one from this round.
You want to before we go to the next round? Do you want to go for? You want to go to the next round before we go to the next round?
Remind everyone this is what we watch when we drink. We are back live again. We are going through some Lochlea single malts from our friends at Impex Beverages, and we are also going through some TV shows that we've been watching in the last month or so.
We're doing Harvest, right?
Next up, we are doing the Lochlea Harvest Edition, third crop.
All right, let's do that.
We're pouring, and Angie's gonna tell us about it.
Yeah, I'm not going to read the first paragraph because it's the same as the last paragraph. So, Harvest Edition third crop is the second in a new and final set of 4 limited editions, marking the end of our seasonal trilogy. This whiskey has been double matured in refill bourbon barrels and port hogsheads, alongside an Oloroso sherry butt, offering a different take on the sweet, summery flavor profile associated with the Harvest trilogy. With the spirit,
sorry, there was a pause. I jumped in.
I'm just taking a breath. With the spirit another year older, expect rich dessert notes up front, balanced by savory black pepper on the finish. So anyway, go ahead, Mike.
When I poured it out, it smelled a little rubber glovish, but I let it sit because I poured it right when we finished the first one, and now the nose is much more pleasing to me.
it's funny you said that. I had kind of the same feeling when I first
had like an odd note, but now that's gone because I let it sit.
It is a little. It is kind of. It's got those, that sherry influence going on there.
A little sulfury, maybe.
Like rotten
But it
eggs.
does go away.
It was a peculiar note in there that now I don't have because I let it sit for a while.
I think it was sulfurish.
I didn't get it, but okay, whatever. Maybe you're both having a stroke. I don't know.
Oh, genius.
Pretty vapory.
Nah. Oh, I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's okay.
I'm going in.
All right, I'm gonna go for a taste. I don't even know. I don't feel like picking it apart. I'm just gonna taste the damn thing.
It's nice. A little hot.
A lot of vapors on the tongue there. That's nice.
Ooh.
So again, a lot hotter than the 46.
Yeah, but you get a lot of that, that sherry stuff going on. So you get like raisins and the brown sugars and the cinnamons and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Like a nice dessert cake.
Yeah, see, now this might be a dessert one. That one, that was the aperitif. This is the dessert one.
Yeah.
Have nice. This with a panna cotta. Would you do it with panna cotta?
Well, what wouldn't I do with panna cotta?
I don't know.
Panna cotta is so good.
It is so good. I'll have to make that one day.
A little salty.
Yeah,
maybe a
little salinity. Yeah.
I think I like the other one better though. I think I prefer the other one.
I may have to go back. That definitely was sweeter than this one for sure. I'm thinking.
Oh, it's getting better. It's getting better. Now I'm getting a little brown sugar.
Yeah.
No, that's nicer. Maybe it just took a second to course correct from the first one. Because this is very different from the other one.
Oh, yeah.
It's a little richer. But I still like the other one. The other one was very good too. So that one might edge this one out because I think it's
the same crop. It's just aged longer.
I guess aged longer. Aged differently too.
Right.
Because this one did the sherry thing. The other one was all bourbon barrel.
Right.
So, that's what you're getting, I think, on this. The oddness, I think, is the sherry influence.
Not bad. That's good.
That was nice. I like that.
That's nice. That's very nice. I mean, I like their original one. What was it called? Just the original? Oh, our barley. That's a very nice whiskey.
That's very nice. I actually bought that one.
Yeah, that's a good one. And also another pretty bottle. Also a very nice, pretty bottle, pretty packaging. I like the whole thing with the wheat. What do you call it?
Oh, yeah.
The shafts
I'm just
of wheat.
a sucker for the packaging.
Well, I mean, why not?
I do like the packaging. Yes.
If you're going to have a whiskey, why not have a pretty package to go with it?
Square bottles.
Yeah. Why not? Why not?
Why not? All right.
Let's
next? Get back into some TV. Mike, well, what else have you gotten through, or what are you watching?
We're
watching maybe.
My son, my youngest son, he found an adult-ish superhero show.
Pardon me?
Where
The Boys?
He watches that also, The Boys. He's almost up to where I can start watching again. He's through the first 2.5 seasons. He's almost.
Could you watch it with him? That's the question.
Yeah, I watch it with him.
Do you really?
I'm not a good parent.
No,
I watch with
him. You're sicko.
Anyway,
overrated.
But he found his superhero show where a 17-year-old suddenly gets his powers, and his dad was a superhero, and then he finds out that maybe his dad wasn't such a superhero, and now this is a couple of years later, and he has a younger brother who's like 8 or 10, and he gets his powers early, and he's trying to be a superhero and keep his brother in check and do all this other stuff, and it's interesting to watch.
What is it? What's it called?
Yeah, do we have
it's called Invincible.
Invincible.
Where's it at? Is it on Prime?
So it's
is that the cartoon?
It's a cartoon.
Oh yeah. Okay, so that's
on Prime. It's a cartoon on Prime.
Yeah.
And he just found it. So it started in 21. They're up to season 3 this year, and it's just funny because you sit down to watch a little cartoon and you're like, my God, this is violent.
Well, quite the
Like
captain.
the one character, when he gets, all worked up, he just starts ripping people apart and killing people. And you're like, wow, that's terrible. And the little kid who gets his powers, the first thing he goes to, he kills the bad guy. And they're trying to explain, like, we don't kill the bad guy. No, but he was a bad guy. He should die. No, we don't kill the bad guy. He's got to go to jail. Who puts him in jail? He should die. Okay.
So Stephen Yoon is the Invincible character.
Yeah. And it's got
That's
Sandra Oh as a voice. It's got J.K. Simmons as a voice. It's got
Mark
a really
Hamill,
good cast of people back
Jacobs,
there.
Seth Rogen.
Really?
It's just something where I think people just jumped in because it's fun. Sure,
fun.
I'll get
Is it
involved
like
in this.
watching what was that show you used to watch, Aaron? The other cartoon, the one about the spies.
Archer.
Archer.
Oh, Archer. Yeah. That was it. That was
like Archer. Yeah.
Archer's
that's
raunchy. Archer's kind of fun.
This isn't. I don't think so far it isn't as raunchy,
Okay.
but it's very violent for a cartoon.
For a cartoon.
It's sort of like the Saturday morning,
right. It's got those
Justice
kind of barbarian
League, but it's not quite your Saturday morning. There's no Wonder Twins here.
You mean the style of it?
Yeah. Yes,
Okay.
it's drawn poorly like that, like a 1970s animation, and it's a fun show.
I'll have to check it out.
And then we're starting White Lotus.
Hold on,
Okay.
let's go back to this for Invincible for a second. It was created by Robert Kirkman. He is a comic book writer, screenwriter, and producer, best known for co-creating The Walking Dead and Fear of the Walking Dead.
Yeah,
Well, he's got some stuff behind him too.
He's got some credentials too, right?
Yeah, and he also collaborated with Todd McFarlane on the series Haunt. So he has definitely some comic background. I'm sorry. Go right ahead. Sorry about that.
And that's it. Then we're starting White Lotus. Season 3 of the White Lotus is out.
White Lotus from the beginning. Season 3 or
season 3. Season 3 just started.
Season 3. Got it.
Yeah, I'm also.
I haven't heard much about season 3.
I'm liking the sceneries. I mean, might as well. I'll jump in. I mean, I'm watching it also. How far are you into it, Mike?
We're just starting it.
Oh, okay.
Literally, we're going to start it tonight, probably.
Oh, okay. Because I think I'm on episode. I got to rewatch episode 4 because I fell asleep last night watching it. But I like Walton Goggins is great on it. I think he's really good on the show. And our girl Michelle Monaghan, she's very good. It's a good cast. I'm just waiting to see where this story's going because they're still. I'm on episode 3 or 4, and they're still kind of laying out the storyline. So it's kind of a slow burn.
My better half, who doesn't pay much attention to anything coming out, she happened to note, is Schwarzenegger's son in this? Because apparently he's full frontal at some point. And that's what my better half has heard about. That there's some guy in this, and Schwarzenegger's son's naked. So I'm not really sure if she's interested in the show, or just to see whether or not.
I mean, he's a handsome devil. He doesn't look like his father, and thankfully, he doesn't look like his mother either. So he looks like he could be like a John. He could be like a John cousin.
Yep. Well, he is a John cousin. So
he is. Well, nephew. He would be a nephew, wouldn't he? Or would he be a cousin?
No, a cousin of John.
Okay. I guess.
JFK Jr.
Right.
They're cousins.
So, yeah, it's interesting. It's starting off okay. It's kind of slow so far.
Yeah.
It's been 3 episodes so far, just kind of like building it. And I don't know where it's going. But we'll see. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on.
What else are you looking at, Ange?
Okay, well, I'll take White Lotus off my list because we just talked about it. So I tried to watch that Paradise on Hulu.
What do you think?
I don't know. I didn't like the look of it. It looked like muddy. Huh?
Yeah.
It gets great reviews.
I didn't get it. I was like, what the hell is going on here? I don't know. I wasn't interested. Maybe I'll go back to it at some point, but right now, it didn't do it for me. It's got James Marsden, right?
Yeah. Well, he's not the star, though.
No. Who's the guy? Who's the Clancy Brown or something like that. I can't think of what his name is.
Sterling K. Brown. That's the
Yeah.
the presidential in the bunker thing. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Yep.
It looks like it's got a great cast. I don't know. Maybe you just got to get a couple episodes in.
It's it's weird because I've heard such good things about it, but I've also heard people say kind of like what you said, Andrew, was kind of tough to get into.
Yeah, it's weird. I was listening to again our favorite podcast, and apparently something happens like 7 episodes in or whatever. But I'm like, I gotta wait 7 hours to get to like something good.
Yeah.
All that time for something to happen.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess is it like 8 episodes? Do I want to do this?
Hey, how many seasons of Seinfeld did you watch? Nothing happens on those shows.
Oh, yeah, but you know what? You know what though? You're still talking about them, aren't you?
They're shows about nothing. Come on.
Yeah, but you know what? We're still talking about them. We're still talking about them. This is going to be a one and done, and it's going to be like, whatever. So
I just saw it was renewed for a second season.
Oh, well, sure, why not?
I'm just looking at the Wikipedia page for Paradise and looking at the cast and such. And one of the recurring characters is Gerald McRaney.
Oh wow, Major
from
Dad.
Simon and Simon. He is
NCIS.
I want to care to guess on his age.
He's got to be close to 80.
He's been in everything.
He's got to be close to 80.
77. Still married, I believe, to Delta Burke.
Delta Burke.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
Was he the guy that was in Deadwood? Was he Hearst in Deadwood?
He was in Deadwood.
Yeah.
Yes, I think he was.
He was Hearst, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, just checking. Because I confused him with somebody. You know who I confused him with? And there's no reason why I should. Dabney Coleman. I don't know why.
Yeah, I get him. It's funny. I think the same thing. They're sort of
they got a similar look.
They do, and they play those kind of as they got older and later in life. They were doing these kind of small characters in shows. Yeah, the old rich guy who's got all this power or something. Yeah,
right.
That's funny. That's funny. Sorry to interrupt there.
That's all right. That's all right. Well, go ahead, because we got 2 that I really want to talk about, but we'll save them.
Save those, okay.
And it might be the same one for me and you. So, no, Paradise, and then I'll save the other 2. Go ahead.
Okay. Let's see. I got a few here.
Today,
I watched a show which I cannot totally pronounce one of the words. It was on Netflix. The R-A-R-E Murders. Scandinavian.
Oh, yeah, you told me about this.
And it's about a true story of a murder. Someone was killed. I guess a murder of 2 people. And it takes like 20 or 30 years to solve. And it's only like 8 episodes. And you watch the main character, the main cop, he promises that one of the characters' family, both families, that he's going to find the murderer. And you see him age throughout this. He loses his wife. He loses his wife takes their baby that's born when this happens, and she leaves because he's like so sucked into this murder investigation. And they have tons and tons of data, and they cannot find this guy. And it goes into a whole DNA. Some guy who's like a DNA researcher says he can pretty much solve anything via DNA. He's just sounds a little bit like a shyster who does like little talks in banks on on the weekends to get you to buy his little packet of stuff. They hired this guy, and without giving too much away, he helped solve this crime. But like 18 years later or something like that. Wow. So it's really pretty interesting, and it's kind of a psychodrama with this guy trying to solve this crime that seemingly solvable but not solvable. But,
maybe like this podcast, a psychodrama.
So very similar, very very similar.
No, we're just psycho.
Was the guy getting paid hourly? Is that what it was?
The cop. Well, maybe that guy was. Yeah, the cop was just a regular old cop. Let's see. The other one I usually mean. Oh, I know the other one. Mo on Netflix. that came out maybe a month or two ago.
Mo Bamba? Is it Mo Bamba?
I don't know. I don't know what's Mo's last name. Mo's last name is,
Mo. Yeah.
I believe he's an Egyptian comedian. Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yes. He was just on. I think it was on just Mark Maron recently. Mo Amer. Amer. It's Amer.
Yeah, that's it. Right. And so this comes to us from I think the executive producer is Rami. What's Rami's last name? Rami Youssef, right?
Okay.
And it's based on this guy Mo, who is a Palestinian refugee living in Houston with his mom and his autistic brother and his older sister, who's like, she's a professional of some sort. And long story how they get to Houston many years ago, but they're undocumented. And in the second season, Mo has helped start a family business of olive oil, and they're growing olive trees on this rancher's ranch farm and in Texas. And for some reason, I can't remember why, but he has to cross the border into Mexico, and he doesn't have a passport, right? Because he's not documented. So he gets stuck in Mexico. And while that's happening, back in Houston, a immigration attorney is helping Mo's mom and brother get documented so they can go. What mom wants to ultimately do is go back to Palestine to visit her family because she's getting older. And Mo basically doesn't have a job. He's been helping out with this whole farming thing, but basically through the series, he's just selling stuff out of his car. He's selling, whatever he can sell out of his car in whatever parking lot. And he's got a bunch of misfit friends, in Houston. And there's a lot of talk about barbecue, and there's a lot of talk about Israeli-Palestinian politics. It's very, very funny. And another short series. I think it's only like 6 episodes, 8 episodes, maybe. Short, only 2 seasons, and it's already done. I don't know why they didn't want to continue with it. Ultimately they get back to Palestine, so to visit family. So, and he gets the girl in the end. So it was pretty fun. I like it.
There you go.
So good show. Mo.
Okay.
Mo. All right.
Speaking of Mo Whiskey.
Mo Whiskey.
Mo Whiskey. We're going to get some Mo Whiskey.
Okay. If we must.
Mo.
All right.
Get to the fallow. To the fallow.
Fallow. Okay, let's do the fallow. Oh,
well, we're pouring the third one. We're just a reminder, this is what we watch when we drink. Our 60th episode. We're not competing with the 10,000th episode of
well, we're trying, but we're failing.
We're getting there. Calm down, people. You can catch us on boozdancing.com, YouTube, Facebook, all kinds of places.
Yep. Instagram.
Most of the corners of the dark web. Don't forget that.
Yeah, that's right. The Silk Road.
Most of them? Why not all of them?
There's some places even we shouldn't go.
Oh, that's right. The
True.
super good dark web.
True. Shall I? Shall I read?
Shall you? You shall. This is your job.
Okay. All right. So Fallow Edition, third crop, is the third in a new and final set of 4 limited editions, marking the end of our seasonal trilogy. We have matured our signature Lochlea spirit in fresh first fill Oloroso sherry butts, and the liquid is 1 year older than the 2023 edition. The different cask makeup highlights our distillery's progression as the last in the popular sherry-influenced Fallow trilogy. So there you go. There you go. So Oloroso sherry.
This is amazing.
It's really on the nose. It's really sherry. It's a great color.
I cheated and tasted it. It's pretty spectacular.
It's just a great color too.
The color, yeah. There's a really interesting redness to it, and I don't mean like, I don't know, like almost like a pomegranate red to it. It's really interesting. Maybe that's the light here, but it's
well,
really,
you know what? You're right. It is. It is kind of.
Yeah.
It is kind of reddy. It is very red.
Boy, that's it. Boy, that's really interesting. I went in too.
All right, I'm gonna.
Peppery spice on the tongue, but so much fruit flavor.
Yeah,
really nice.
it's dark fruits. There's plum in it, maybe.
Almost maybe some dark cherries, raisins. That's good.
Your stone fruits.
Yeah,
All the dark fruits. All the dark fruits.
that's good.
Gosh.
Mm.
And it doesn't. No, this one's also 46. I thought the
Second one was hotter.
harvest that says 46 also.
Yeah, they're all 46.
It tasted a lot hotter. Maybe the pepperiness of it, but
the second one.
This
one's more gentle.
Oh my goodness!
And a really nice finish.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
It is like I was going to make some reference to a masseuse, but I shouldn't do that on this.
Why not?
Show. I don't know.
Is it a family show?
So you enjoy the ending? Is that what you're saying?
Hello.
I'm sorry, not ending. Finish. You enjoy the finish.
The ending made you happy. Is that what you're saying?
Finish.
I got you.
No, the ending. He was pleased with the finish.
This is like an episode of The White Lotus with the Schwarzenegger boy.
I don't really. It's funny. I don't think of this as almost a sherry cask. I don't feel like it's sherry-ish.
No.
Yeah,
No,
it's not a sherry bomb like some of
No,
them.
it's not a sherry bomb.
It's really well balanced.
It's got like it almost for a second there. I almost got like a maraschino kind of thing. It was almost like on a Manhattan. You know, you get that little finish with like the vermouth and the cherry.
If you told me it was finished in some, I don't know, some weird wacky liqueur,
maraschino liqueur cask.
Yes, I would have said, "Wow!"
But it's not super sweet though. It's a nice.
No.
It's a nice balance to it.
But it's definitely not a bourbon cask. I mean, 100%.
No.
It's something else, and it doesn't taste to me like a sherry cask.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're not really a big sherry cask kind of guy.
Not at all. No, but this is enjoyable. It really is beautiful.
Good. Very good.
That is the Lochlea Fallow Edition, third crop single malt from the Lochlea Distillery. Again, we want to thank our friends at Impex Beverages for sending off these samples to us to run through on our 60th episode. Yummy.
Delicious.
Okay. Very nice. Very nice. I like
we got another round, and let me start this one off because there's a show that I meant to bring up, and I just sort of finished it last week. Very short season on limited series on Netflix. 0 Day with Mr. De Niro.
Oh, how is that?
Robert De Niro. Have you heard of him?
Maybe. Raging Bull.
Now he's doing episodic television on the streamers.
You know why?
Yes.
You know why? He's got a baby. He's got to keep working.
Got to get the checks coming. Oh my God, that's so funny. He's getting a little bit like Scorsese. I think he's getting shorter. He's getting shorter and shorter.
You mean like all of us?
He's shuffling a little bit. So it's like, I think it's 5 or 6 episodes, and he plays an ex-president of the United States who's retired, and he has some sort of past we're not sure about, and something really bad happens in the country. This huge cyber attack across the entire country.
That can't happen.
It never can happen. And the president, who is what's her name? I'll find that second. She starts a commission to solve this horrible thing. Like after 9/11, right? You start a commission, and she gets him to head this commission. And basically he can do whatever he wants to find who did this. Angela Bassett's the president. Which can never happen because she's a woman and we can't have a woman president in this country. Lizzie Kaplan plays De Niro's daughter. She's a senator, congresswoman. Jesse Plemons is De Niro's sort of like former right-hand guy when he was the president, and he's brought him back to be his. I guess he's still sort of his right-hand guy, and he's also Lizzie Kaplan's boyfriend.
Okay.
Nobody knows that. Connie Britton is his former chief of staff. She comes back to help him on this commission. Joan Allen is his current wife. The problem there,
I haven't seen her in a while.
No, and she and Connie Britton have a little bit of an issue because apparently President De Niro had a little thing with Connie Britton,
So
and
like in real life, right?
and
They
had a
just-
love child.
Bobby
and-
gets around.
Yeah, and Joan Allen knows about it, but she's for the best of the country. She's letting Connie Britton get in there to help Mr. De Niro.
One thing. So
Yeah.
so Bobby D is 81 years old.
Yep.
His seventh child
Oh my God!
was born in April of 2023. So he's got a 2-year-old.
He's got a baby.
What's he
He's
gonna be
working
like?
for the health benefits. He's got
Huh?
and the on-stage daycare. That's what he needs.
Jesus.
Wonder what he's gonna be like at that first T-ball practice.
T-ball.
A couple years from now, T-ball.
He won't be able to stand in the sun.
As they
on.
wheel him to the game.
Games across the field
My God.
on a Saturday morning when it's raining.
79 years old. I mean, that's in a way it's cool, but in another way it's like
It's
just
not so
wrong.
cool. Not so cool.
Irresponsible.
well, it just depends on how much of a nest egg he leaves them.
Well,
If he leaves them a nice trust fund, it'll be all good.
Well,
there's
apparently that's what he did. And the rest of the family's mad.
that's right.
Mm.
Matthew Modine is a senator or congressman in this thing. He's got kind of a crucial role. Gabby Hoffman's in it, and our friend Bill Camp. Yeah, Bill Camp's in it. It's a
How
kind
was
of
Bill?
crazy
Haven't seen him in a
story.
while.
He didn't look the same. He looked. Oh, is that Bill Camp? Oh, we haven't seen him in a while. It's a really wacky story. It's sort of like trying to be, cutting edge technology, cybercrime, blah blah blah. But it's really seeing De Niro doing his De Niro thing, and he's an aging person, and he's camera things, and he's a little bit slower. So they do that part pretty well. And there's all this family drama that is going on.
So there's a high technology event, and you decide to put a geriatric who doesn't use technology in charge.
Yes,
I'm sure he'll get right to the bottom of that once he stops his VCR from flashing.
I think his background is that he was an attorney, like an investigative attorney or something. So he's all about note taking. So he's got all these notebooks of handwritten notes, and that's his thing.
So he's like a serial killer too, right?
He's like a serial killer. Yes, he's wrote it all.
That's only because one of them is labeled Zodiac. So what do you
it's Z, so it's at the very end of the bookshelf.
Yeah.
So anyway, I enjoyed it. It was kind of wacky, kind of weird. It was weird to see De Niro in a series, not a movie. So, okay, sorry to interrupt there. Any other shows before we get to Angela on the last couple ones?
The ones I'm starting.
Yes.
The Night Agent is back.
Yeah, I watched it. It was
I
cool.
enjoyed that. So I'm going to start that. We're going to hit Bridgerton, which we never got to look at.
Season?
The third season of Bridgerton.
I never got to the third season.
And eventually, Fubar will be back, and I'm looking forward to finding Fubar again. That's a Schwarzenegger show where he plays a guy who sells gym equipment.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. He sells gym equipment, but he works for the CIA. So
of course he does.
So, and his daughter, who just received an Academy Award nomination for playing Joan Baez, is Monica Barbero, and she's also in the CIA. So it's about a father trying to keep all this stuff from the rest of the family, and then the daughter finds out that he's a spy, and he finds out she's a spy, and all the stuff that goes on with it. The second season of that's coming back. It's called Fubar.
Oh, I'll watch that. I did not know about this.
The first season was pretty good, and the second season it filmed the end of last year. They were done by like August or September, so it should drop soon. It just hasn't dropped yet.
I see Fortune Feimister's in it. She's very funny. Jay Baruchel's in it.
Yeah.
Oh,
It again, not that I know anything about having people as spies in your house, but it seems to be really well done in terms of, oh, hey, I have this one little thing I got to tell you.
That's funny. I got to watch that. Fubar. I'm going to write that down because Fubar. That's funny. I just started, before you move on to the last couple, I started watching House of David on, I believe that's Amazon Prime. It's actually pretty good. It's the story of King David and a lot of Israeli actors. And it's actually very supposedly based on, historical truths. It's sort of like a Lord of the Ringsy kind of not Lord of the Rings. What's the House of the Dragon? What's that show called? That series from the big one that we all House of Dragon.
Well, I didn't watch it, but
Um,
I can't think of it right now. I can't even think of it.
Game of Thrones is what you're
Game
doing.
of Thrones. There you go.
Sorry, I was
Yeah,
busy.
it's
My
a lot of-
God.
a lot of politics.
And I'm making fun of De Niro.
There you go. That's right. Yeah. A lot of politics and pretty good cast. Some people I've recognized from other shows. It's pretty good. And there was one other thing I started that I thought I would mention. What was the other one? You said The Night Agent.
Yep.
Guess that's it. I know. Dark Winds, which is we've talked about it before. It's on its third season on, I think it's from AMC, and
Yes.
it's from the guy who wrote Game of Thrones. What's that guy's name? He lives up in Montana.
George
That
George
guy.
R.
That guy.
Martin. He's a pirate.
And Billy the Kid, Sundance. What's that guy's name? The film. The guy from Sundance.
Robert Redford?
Robert Redford. They are the executive producers. And not much of a spoiler here, but I watched I think it's the first episode and of this new season, and they show up in this out of the blue, like yes, they're in a diner eating, and it's so weird because isn't that, and they look so well, they both are old, so they look like two old guys sitting in a diner, but it's in like the 1970s in New Mexico on, I believe it's Navajo territory.
Well, it's the guy who was the cop in Reservation Dogs, right?
Correct.
He like lead?
Yes. Who?
And Willie Jack is in it too, right?
Yes, I believe. Yes, that's right. That man's name is Zach McClarnon.
Yes.
That's that character.
He was big, right?
Yes. And I just finished watching the second season of Fargo, and he's in that. Really? He's a character in that whole season too. Yes. Okay, so we hit the big ones.
Wait. How old is Redford?
Oh, 85.
80-something.
He'll be 89 this year.
Really?
89?
He's a 1936er. Yeah.
Damn.
Oh my God.
Doesn't that make you sad? Doesn't that?
It's amazing. Wow.
Time flies, man. Time flies.
How old is that, George?
I don't want to admit it.
George R. Martin is 76. Jeez. Well, not that I know it.
And he looks like he's in his late 90s.
He looks like he's 107. He's actually apparently a huge baseball nerd. And apparently, I think he's written a couple baseball books, I believe. Too.
I think he's that guy that's 150 years old and getting Social Security.
Yes. Wow. That is crazy. I had no idea he was that old. Wow. That's nuts. All right. Ange, we're going to turn it over to you. We can talk about a few other things, I think, before we hit our last one.
I got two left.
I know.
So I'll save the best one for last. But
Okay.
I'll save a pretty damn good one for second from the last. So, and I'm surprised that I liked it as much as I did. The Pitt.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
I don't know if it's done yet. I was a little, it was a little in the beginning. I'm like thinking like they're like checking all the boxes because they have all these crazy storylines and they've got like every demographic and every weird tick and every weird like problem with all the characters. You got the girl whose mom is a surgeon who's under all this pressure. You got the overachieving med student. You got the nervous med student. Did you
say the name of the show yet?
The Pitt.
You didn't say that? Okay.
I did. I said The Pitt. Yeah, season 1. But I have to say, it grew on me. It's definitely intense, but it's a damn good show, and I actually look forward to every episode because I want to see what's coming next.
So, did you watch ER?
I did. I watched like the first few seasons of ER. I guess till Clooney left. I think I probably watched at least the 4 or 5 seasons.
I think I watched most of it. I think, and I remember loving that whole.
It was a good show.
ER drama. I like hospital, dramas. I like them. And ER sort of got to me. admittedly, I couldn't watch them for a while after my mom passed away, who died in an ER. And I was really kind of torn. I can't watch this. And I don't think I've watched a hospital drama since then. Maybe can't remember one. And this coming back was odd because it's Noah Wiley, right, who was in ER, and but I read a few things from firsthand accounts of ER workers, medical professionals, who said this is very, very, very realistic in a lot of ways that ER and other shows have not been, about the toll that it takes on a human being working in those kinds of places, and what the patients are going through that are waiting forever to see somebody in our current our healthcare system. So I thought I'm going to check it out, and I am pleasantly surprised and very entertained by it. I think it's very well done.
It's good. It's very good. I mean, again, in the beginning, it felt like they were just basically ticking boxes, like let's cover this storyline, that storyline. But it got really good. And, especially when it started to really, really start to take a toll as the day went on.
Yeah.
And it's got a good bit of humor.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah.
It's got a good bit of humor. And it's funny because the only ER I've been to that close was when my dad, like when he started to kind of go on the downward spiral. And we went to, the one in town, it's a level 1 trauma center, like on a Sunday night. And it was literally the perfect storm. It was an ice storm. It was one of those things like, oh, he got right, couldn't find him. I'm calling hospitals, trying to find out where he is.
Yeah.
And it was absolute mayhem. It was absolute mayhem in there. And that's like the one time, unfortunately, that felt like an episode on this show. It was madness. It was absolutely crazy.
I like it when it's in Pittsburgh. That's near and dear to my heart. And there's not a whole lot of references to the city. There's more as you get farther along. Primanti's makes a little appearance as they get free food one day.
Right. And I think they said something like, well, this ain't Philly, because somebody was like,
yes, there's a couple references to the Pirates.
Yeah.
It's funny. I like all the little sub stories, and there's some stuff that we didn't see back in ER, like
it's gory,
some weird stories.
And it's pretty gory. It's graphic. I mean,
the medical stuff supposedly is very, very accurate, and the trach tube thing is just endless. A lot of trach tubes going there, intubation.
There's a lot of trach tubes. There's a lot of trach tubes.
Yes.
There's a lot of.
Yeah,
my daughter just finished her rotation through the ERs, so I'll watch this and see if she thinks it's fairly accurate.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Anyone that can do that is just amazing. There's an episode. There's one character. He's brand new. He's a kid, and was that the first episode or the second episode? He is thrown up on or had bodily fluids on.
He's had everything. He's been peed on. He's been vomited on. He's been bled on.
And he has to keep getting new scrubs. And he's everything imaginable is getting on him every 10 minutes. And he gets poor kid. He's from Iowa or someplace.
Yeah, it's a lot of mayhem. It's a lot of mayhem. The first couple episodes hit a little close to home because everything that was going on.
Sure. Yeah.
And it was the same exact time while I'm watching the episode, so it was a little freaky. But kind of making those kind of decisions, and it's good. It's really, really good. Noah Wiley's great.
He's great.
Noah Wiley's really good in this.
He's definitely improved acting wise, and I think.
Well, you know what? He's older, and it shows, and he looks like he's got some miles on him, and I think it works for the role. He's very well cast. It's very good.
He's really good. I think he's got a really interesting delivery of his lines.
Yeah,
it seems like he's very intense, methodical, passionate, funny. He scratches his face. He uses his hands. He does those little things that makes you believe him. That makes you believe that he's really acting, but that he's really thought about this character and how this character would go about his daily stuff.
Yeah.
Really, really think it's great.
He's good. If he gets I would think he's going to get some kind of nomination for it at some point because he's doing a really good job. He's going through a lot. Plus, he's got the whole, pandemic PTSD thing going on.
Yes. The PTSD thing is a big deal, right? Which apparently is a very common
I don't doubt it.
problem with ER workers who are, go in and see something that's just so horrible and you're close to.
Well, and also it's also relentless. It's like nonstop. It's not just
nonstop, right?
It's not just like one big case comes in. They're bouncing from case to case to case.
And it's set up in an interesting way where every episode's 1 hour of the day.
Yeah.
Right. So I guess it's just going to be 8 hours. We're going to see. I don't know how many episodes.
Yeah, 8-10-hour shift or whatever it is.
This is 8 to 9, then 9 to 10, 10 to 11, and a lot of crap happens over
a lot happens. Right? And that the only thing that that I don't know. I'm not going to say far fetched, but like all the yelling and the screaming amongst staff. Maybe it's a little unprofessional. And then with the hospital administrator stuff.
Yeah,
she's coming down and berating them when they're obviously slammed. I wonder about that as well because I don't see that happening, frankly.
Of course, some of it has to be over dramatized to prove a point that the medical system.
It is TV, right?
TV, right?
It's TV. It gets a little preachy. It's almost like Dave Simon, throwing a couple things in there, but that's okay. It's still good. Oh, speaking of Dave Simon, the administrator, of course, is what's her name from The Wire? Is Brianna.
Yeah,
Brianna. What was his name? What was not Stringer Bell? What was the other guy?
Because
Barksdale.
Somebody from The Wire has to be in every good show. It's
it's on HBO too. So Brianna Barksdale, that was it. Because she was Avon's sister and D'Angelo's mother. Yeah.
Yes.
So anyway, but it's good. Mike, get on it. Get on the pit.
Before we close on that, it reminds me of something totally unrelated, but a show that I just started is Daredevil, the new season of Daredevil.
Oh yeah, my son watched that already. Yeah,
Daredevil,
I liked it a lot.
Born Again,
yeah.
And Vincent D'Onofrio, is that how you say his name? He's
Kingpin, right?
He reminds me, acting method wise, like Noah Wyle. He is so intense and so
deliberate
and
so deliberate.
Thoughtful about how he turns his head, how he holds his hands, where he puts his body. It's incredible. It's just, he's not my favorite actor in the world, but the way he plays his character is just incredible. And it reminds me a lot of the way Noah Wyle is doing what he's doing on The Pit. It's really good.
And D'Onofrio's character was in Echo, he was in Hawkeye's show, and then he was in the other season of Daredevil. And in all of them, he delivers a similar performance where he's engrossing to watch.
He's engrossing,
and he's just terrible. He's just
yes.
He's just
even
terrible.
when he's being nice and
he's
very
just terrible.
And
he's terrible.
Mesmerizing.
He's terrible.
I agree.
And I read where the first episodes he was wearing his own self. He beefed up, and he said he just couldn't keep the weight on. It was just too hard. So now he's wearing like the fat suits for this. Because the King Suit character is supposed to be physically imposing. So they have him in there with it's not all him anymore.
Well, you saw the Spider-Verse, right? He was like a walking wall.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's a monster.
Really monster. Okay. Ange, I think I know where you're going to end on. And
should we finish the last whiskey first for the last one, and then we'll talk about it?
Yeah, sure. Let's do that. Definitely.
Last whiskey to recap.
Let's save the
So our last one is the Lochlea small batch STR.
Yes. Now the website says 46, but the bottle says 60.
So we're not. We'll know. I think if it's 60.
maybe. Shall I?
Nose
shall
doesn't
I read?
Seem like it's 60.
Shall I read?
Go ahead.
You should read.
Okay. So our small batch bottlings are exclusive to a particular market. In this case, the USA. This whiskey was first filled into refill bourbon barrels, then double matured in American oak STR casks. STR standing for shaved, toasted, and recharred. A combination never seen from a distillery and never to be repeated. This limited edition is a beautiful snapshot in time in the progressive journey of Lochlea
we can talk about that STR thing for a second. So many of the brands that distilleries that Impex represents, ports in, have
Kilhoman loves an STR cast.
Have a love for the STR cast, which comes from one specific person. Hold on one second, I'll remember his name. Who came up with this idea to do that with cast. He's worked with Kilhoman, and he worked with James Wan. Thank you.
Yeah.
James Wan, who passed away, but he's worked with almost all the distilleries that Milk and Honey that Impex imports. The Pandaren as well.
What's the one in Australia? Is it Westward? Windward?
No, the
Starward.
one in New Zealand. The one in New Zealand is Pocono.
Right, but did they do also anything with Starward or no?
I don't think he worked with Starward.
No,
Starward is in Melbourne, but I don't think he worked with it.
All right, well, whatever. Let's get into this one.
He also worked with Cavalon, I think, and Cavalon also used
Pandaren. Right. Oh, this is very different from the other ones.
Oh, I love it. Love the smell. Love the nose.
Mike, thoughts?
He's thinking.
How much time you got?
Finger up like that, and
how much time you got?
It's really
He's no crazy supercomputer.
It might be as quick as the supercomputers that we had when we were younger.
Well, yeah.
I'm working like a Commodore 64.
I'm working like my first Mac, not this Mac. Hot?
I'd say this is 60%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
Hello. Hey now.
That's not 46.
No, that's got a punch. That's nice though. I think they got the label right, because that's definitely a 60. By the way, there's only 924 bottles of this, so get them while they're hot, or get them because they're hot. Which one?
Oof. All right. All right, I'm going a shot of it. If how it changes.
Ooh, that's very nice. That lingers. It's a little bit of sweetness, but not a lot of sweetness.
Yeah, the nose, I would just say it's clean. It just smells clean.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
It is.
The flavors, little
all,
sweetness, little salinity, and a lot of punch.
Yeah, that's good.
A little salinity. Did you say it was just bourbon cask, not?
Yeah, it just says American Oak STR casks.
Okay.
So it's first it goes into a refill bourbon barrel, then double matured in American Oak STR cask.
Okay. Wow. That is something. I think I need to let that one get a little bit of air. And maybe if I had any water, it might be good with a little bit of water.
You know, that's actually very nice.
My gums are tingling.
Getting like a little baked apple, maybe a little cigar wrapper, a little bit of salt.
Definitely salt. Not getting any smoke though. You got some tobacco.
No smoke. I know. I said the wrapper. So not necessarily smoky. Not necessarily smoky. Just a little, like that sweet tobacco kind of thing.
Wow.
Maybe leather. I don't know. Maybe a little leather.
Armchair.
Little armchair. Yeah.
Armchair.
Well-worn armchair. Before or after you sit in it for 5 years? Which one? Fresh armchair.
It's not an armchair anymore. It's just ready for the curb. I've just
no. It's just getting good. It's got to get the patina. You need a patina.
At this point, Kingpin looks at me and says, "Ooh, I'm big."
Oh boy. All right. We will.
So just a quick rundown on Jim Swan. Amrut, Annandale, Clydesdale, Cotswold, Dublin Whiskey, Cavalon, Kilhoman, Lindores, Milk and Honey, Nick Neen, Pandaren, the London Distillery, the Spirited Yorkshire, St. George's Distillery, Macaroni's Island Distillery, and the Virginia Distillery Company.
Did you say Macaroni Island?
Macaroni.
Macaroni. And what was the last one?
Virginia Distillery Company.
Ah, okay.
In Virginia.
So nothing.
Macaroni's is in Vancouver.
So nothing. He hasn't done anything.
Oh yeah.
So he's had
Virginia
a small impact in the industry.
Yes. Virginia Distilling is near Jason Johnston and Gellin. Okay, well, we're going to come back to our wrap up on the whiskeys, and I know where Gilo is going on this episode here tonight.
Yeah.
What would you say what's your last show on the list for you for the evening?
Oh, Shoresy, season 4, baby.
Shoresy, season
You got to set the
4.
tone. Let's set that tone.
Settle.
It is so incredible.
There's really nothing like a game stick. You know what I'm saying?
I have to.
Are we going to have a game stick after this? We're going to see who gets the game stick.
We got the game stick.
Before we get into this, I have to say, today I listened to our favorite podcast. That's not ours. And did you listen to The Watch?
Oh, with Manzukis?
Yes.
Oh, I did. It was great.
It's a love letter to this season.
Oh, my God. It's beyond a love letter. It's
so. Can we review that podcast?
Oh, it was so good. Manzukis was great.
It is so great because Jason, right? Jason?
Yeah, Jason Manzukis.
Yeah. He got the guys on The Watch, mostly Chris Ryan, on the Ringer Network, to watch this show a couple seasons ago. And Ryan, Philly guy, dove into this thing, no idea what it was, and has absolutely fallen in love with it, and put it, I believe, in his top 10 for the year last year.
Oh, it was tremendous. It was
TV
tremendous.
And he had on, he was a co-host today. Jason was on with Chris Ryan, or this week, whenever that episode was.
I think it was like last week or 2 weeks ago.
Literally just cried and screamed in heavenly tears over the newest episode, and why this show is so good in general. And we just supposed to play that episode. I mean,
it almost makes me like hockey.
It makes me love hockey more, and it makes me love Canada more, and it makes me love hockey players more, and it makes me love women more, because women in this show are so important and so empowered.
It makes me think what we need for this show is a tough native.
We do.
Yes, correct.
Yes,
we definitely need that.
That's
redundant. No matter how redundant that is.
That is very redundant. Very redundant. Very
redundant. So we've talked about Letterkenny before, Shoresy before, and you can jump in. We'll talk about the 4th season.
Oh, but we did an episode, and then we got blasted by a guy that has like this Letterkenny and Shoresy like board saying we don't know anything. But you know what? Screw that guy. Hey, buddy. Screw him. It took me a second to adjust to the episode because it was so different. Because there was really not a lot of hockey. It's
an off-season hockey. It was off-season hockey.
You know what it was? It was the Sudbury Blueberry Bulldogs victory tour in Sud Vegas. Let's not forget Sud Vegas. Summer in Sud Vegas. Yeah, it was good. Everybody's got a little tan. Everybody's looking a little ripped and lean and mean. The ladies they looked like they were like working out. They all.
Yes. So if you follow hockey in the NHL, and you are, especially now in the TV era, the team that wins the Stanley Cup gets the cup for the entire offseason. And every player gets to do whatever they want with it. And so you have players taking the cup all over the world. If they're from wherever, they're from Sweden or Finland or Canada or America, they take the cup wherever they want to. They put their kids in it. They have the kids eat Frosted Flakes out of it. They take it into a pool in Vegas. God knows what happens. It's on a tour all summer long until the beginning of the new season. And so it's a nonstop party with whoever the Stanley Cup is.
All I could say is tubing is unbelievable.
Tubing is unbelievable. This small little hockey community in Sudbury in Northern Ontario and the greater metropolitan Toronto area. What are they called? Greater GTA. This is their version of that. These guys are celebrating hard for this this championship that they won, and this is summertime. There's no hockey.
Will you be my blueberry buddy? That's all I want to know.
And the show,
it's a coming of age story, but the coming of age is with the adults, not the kids.
Correct.
Yeah, it's when you hit 40. It's the coming of age.
It's a season. It's when I say season, these 6 episodes.
Yeah. It was my Saturday night. I had a Sudbury Saturday night in my living room. That's all I'm saying.
That's
right. There's a song in there somewhere. I don't know where.
There is a song.
There is a song. Sudbury Saturday night.
Sudbury Saturday night.
It's about an aging hockey player who's maxed out on his playing career. It's about guys who have won we don't know, but these veteran players who have won maybe for the first time and celebrating like crazy, and don't know when to turn it off, but they do figure out how to turn it off because they start mentoring another crop of hockey players who it's their last summer in town before they go off to whatever junior team or wherever they're going off to, and they become mentors to those kids. And it's about those
frightening when you think about it.
Yeah, it is. It's about those kids growing up, but it's also, like you said, it's about those adult hockey players kind of maturing as well. Yeah. And it's about Shoresy maturing,
He's trying to find his way. He's a little lost.
He's trying to find his way, and because hockey may not be his future. He's not sure, and he's got a love interest. And how does he manage that and prove to her more? How does he?
I just want to know what happens to JJ Frankie JJ.
You know what? He wasn't there.
We will find out next
JJ.
He went back to Quebec. He's got a lot of ladies.
Where's JJ Frankie JJ?
The pride of Quebec.
It is
It's Jean-Jacques Frankie Jacques Jean. Let's not forget that.
It is a great season for this 6 episodes because it's not all hockey related.
No,
it's not. And it tells you the show's more is not just about hockey, I think.
Yeah.
And aside from this serious undertone to it, these kind of mature themes to it, it's so freaking funny.
Oh my God.
The comedy that kind of catches the through lines that kind of keep going throughout the whole series as well as this season, like the tubing and whatever.
And then what's it called? What they call that? What happened to the gyms? What did they call it? They had a name for it. That they were basically shunned or whatever. What they call it? I forget what they called it. Well, whatever. It doesn't matter. But the whole thing with the gyms and the kangaroo court.
Oh, the kangaroo court. Yes.
Oh my God, it was hysterical.
They've and Shoresy trying to find himself and looking for a job in television and going through the whole test shows with ex-NHL players is incredible. And Shoresy still having a job as a referee in a.
Oh my God.
That's still ongoing, and it is just incredible. We probably we're not doing it enough service. It is so funny. It is so good on so many levels.
You're going to get letters. You're going to get letters.
I remember saying after I watched the first season that I thought it was better than Ted Lasso as a sports.
You know what? Honestly, I would agree because it's not.
I said it then, and I wasn't sure because I wasn't sure about Ted Lasso, and it got Ted Lasso. I thought, oh, everyone loves this thing, and I watched. It's kind of Pollyanna-ish, and it's sort of.
Well, you know what the problem with Ted Lasso was? It probably should have ended after season 1 because it just they stretched it out too long. I think.
Probably right.
And maybe it was Apple that said, "Listen, we want 10 episodes, or we want 12 episodes.
Bring it back. Here's a pile of money. Bring it back."
Yep.
So I like the first season, but go ahead.
Yeah, I think this is a way better sports because it's more than sports. It's a way better, and so is Ted Lasso, right? But this is a way.
I just have to wonder who lets him around children when he's repping hockey games. He should not be around children. That's just not right.
Yes, so good.
That goes back. That whole thing goes back to when from Letterkenny, when that Shoresy character is sort of born out of, where you don't ever see his face. You never see who who plays the character, Jared Kiso. It's just great, and I haven't gone back yet. I need to do as kind of Chris Ryan and Matuka said, is to just watch them all together. And I think I'm going to go do that. Watch those 6 episodes. They're like 22 minutes or something like that, right?
I have probably seen the first 3 seasons at least twice. I've started it over again, and then I just kind of got.
You watched it with me the one night we were drinking.
I know. I'll sit there and watch it every night. It's just it's hysterical.
It is so, and I think Chris Ryan said how, you can watch one and then rewatch it and realize you've missed a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's so many lines that they're throwaway lines, and
for all the characters too, not just for Shoresy. All the characters, and you don't even realize somebody said something.
No,
When they're in the pizza place, the stuff that goes back and forth in the pizza place is.
You mean the the panini?
Panini place. I'm sorry.
Pizza panini.
You miss everything. You're just like, oh my god, I missed everything in there.
Oh yeah.
Between the waitress or whatever when she comes over and everyone's sitting at the table, and it's crazy.
I was watching it again. I was watching the first episode when the first or second episode of season 1, when Shoresy is telling him basically who the veteran presence is going to be.
Yeah.
And Nat he says like the whole Ted Hitchcock thing, and she's just got that look on her face like she's just going to die laughing. And she's holding it back.
And if you say it fast, it sounds like you said.
Oh my god, it's so goddamn good. It's so good. Yeah, boys. Yeah, boys.
I love the Laura Moore.
Oh, it's fantastic.
It's so great. And you don't see that kind of story in sports stories too often.
I don't know. I'm kind of, you know what? I think Shoresy imitates life these last few months. Is all I'm saying. I'm feeling like Shoresy, and I got my own little Laura Moore. So
Yeah. I love the wooing. The wooing between him and her is
it's great.
The chemistry is so great. It is just great, and the whole area, whether I don't know where it's actually filmed.
By the way, Nat's a sniper, but if she was about 15 years older, she'd really be a sniper.
And her comment, her chat with Shoresy in this season about what he's got to do in life.
He's got to run a marathon.
Great. It is.
Oh, you mean with Nat? You mean
with Nat? Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that was great. That was good.
Boy, it is. It's the fight between the debauchery of a summer especially after winning.
Vegas, summer in Vegas,
and the weirdness and weird Sudbury. To the reality of life. That's not the real world. And these guys trying to, grow up, or not realizing that they have to grow up in a small town. It is so well done. It's scary how good. And it's sad that no one sees this thing, right? It's on Hulu. Nobody knows about it unless you're a hockey person. And it's on Crave, I think, in Canada. I think it's pretty popular in Canada. But this thing should be winning Emmy Awards. And this thing is so freaking good. And nobody...
Maybe it'll be like Schitt's Creek. It'll come out, towards the end. And people will finally recognize it.
I hope so. I think the last I heard was that because he has his production, Jared Kiso's production company has a deal with Crave, and it was to end Letterkenny, which I think had 11 seasons or 12 seasons, and then just keep going with Shoresy. And I think he's going to develop other things too. Yeah, so it's not over. And you can see the way this is done, it sets itself up for the next chapter of his life, right?
Yeah.
It's just so...
Well, this is part 2, right?
This is part 2. He's going to, somehow get into coaching, and somehow this relationship with Laura is going to go somewhere or not go somewhere. We don't know. And what are those guys going to do? They're all going to stay in Sudbury forever? The veterans? Who knows? They must like it.
There are an unbelievably, what is it? What did I say? There was an incredible amount of hot girls in Sudbury.
Yeah.
And I think Dolo and Hitch and Goody,
Just the parade in Shoresy's apartment.
oh my God, it's
That's,
hysterical. It's just so
that's
goddamn
something.
funny.
And
It's
don't forget
so-
Lawrence LaBeouf.
Laurence Leboeuf. Laurence Leboeuf.
Lawrence?
Laurence Leboeuf.
As played by
Laurence
Lawrence.
Leboeuf.
Who is a star on one of my shows on Peacock that I loved called Transplant, about a series, another kind of an ER doctor kind of situation show. That's filmed in Toronto. Well, that's a great way to end this. This
I figure we gotta save the best for last, right?
Yeah, you saving the best for last. It is such a good show. Shoresy season 4 on Hulu.
I think the of all these shows that we mentioned, I really think like Shoresy and Bookie is like an unsung, is like one of those like under the radar kind of shows. I think it's worth watching.
I agree.
I mean, the Pitt was great too. So,
Yeah. Most definitely. So we've got some good stuff, and there's more stuff coming. And we've had been a wonderful evening with these Lochleas from courtesy of Impex Beverages. Do we want to kind of look at these guys and say how we like them the most or least? Or
yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Mike.
So, Mike,
I'd probably go the order we drank them in reverse order.
Oh, interesting.
I'd go the 60% STR cast. That was what I thought was probably the best one, and then the Harvest and the Fallow. Maybe I'd flip flop them. I don't know. And then the one I liked the least, and again, not that it wasn't good. I just somebody has to finish fourth. Was Sowing. That was kind of the introductory one, but I think the other ones had a little more flavor for me.
Okay, Aaron.
I liked the Fallow the best, followed by the Cast Strength STR, and then the Sowing, and then the Harvest.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'll go the STR. Then I might actually go to the Sowing. Then the Fallow, and then the Harvest. The Harvest I like the least. I didn't hate it, but I liked it the least of all of them. But the Sowing, I think, is one that I can go back to often. That
Again,
would really
nice
nice
weren't bad. It's just I like the sherry stuff a little better.
I gotcha. So nice stuff.
Yeah.
Really good stuff.
Really well done.
Really
well done.
It's a really interesting little distillery, I think.
And that finishes our box from the Impex folks.
Yes.
If there's another box coming, we could do another show. I would certainly.
Well, we're going to do another show.
I would certainly not say no.
No, that was good. I really am going to jump into this that Fallow again. Really enjoyed that one. Really enjoyed it. So, episode 60 is in the books, right? We are done. You can catch this one on a podcast. What we watch
next week.
Probably next week. Yep.
Yeah, next week.
And don't forget to watch the gentlemen on this screen, not myself. Mike and Gilo, they'll be doing their normal stuff at the murder table.
We're going to try.
Right. And I guess that's all we got, boys, right?
Yep. Play us off.
Thank you again to Chris and Mike Chris and Sam at Impex for all the great samples too.
Yes.
And watch Shoresy and the Pitt.
Absolutely. Don't miss it.
Don't miss it.
All right.
All right. Cheers,
boys.
Cheers.